my name is Dr. Asher Shmulewitz. I'm the chairman of Therapix Biosciences. We're listed on NASDAQ. Our symbol is TRPX. Thank you for taking the time today to listen to our story. We're a clinical stage pharmaceutical company focused on proprietary synthetic cannabinoids. The company has developed technologies that are based on inventions, discoveries, mostly in Israel, related to Professor Raphael Meshulam, the professor that discovered the active ingredients of cannabinoids both in the plant and in the endocannabinoid system. I'm going to move to the first slide, the forward-looking statements. Obviously, all statements that I'm going to make are, other than those relating to historical facts, are forward-looking, and I suggest you read the document. Let me jump to the company highlights. As I said, the company is clinical stage pharmaceutical company. Our focus is on repurposing an FDA-approved molecule, that dronabinol, that was approved in 1986. So we're taking a drug that was approved over 20 years ago, based on a discovery in the plant, and we're repurposing it based on novel discoveries, using it for new indications. So we have unique formulations, dosage, and delivery platforms, and one of those formulation technologies is already in the clinic, and we have two other programs that are about to go into the clinic. Focused on the brain, CNS indications, we have two major programs, Tourette syndrome and mild cognitive impairment, and I'll go over each one of them. Tourette syndrome is the first indication where we started a clinical trial at Yale December of last year. We're midway in the clinical program. And that program is based on discovery of what's called the entourage effect, meaning that multiple molecules are necessary to get the maximum effect of the cannabinoid system. Both our molecules are have been approved for use in humans, and have been on the market either as a drug or as a nutraceutical for many years. And so there's really no safety issues. And what we're trying to prove in our study that we're in midway through is showing efficacy and reduced side effects. The other program, mild cognitive impairment, is a program based on a microdose, a very low dose of cannabinoids. That program will start a phase 1 trial very shortly and start a clinical trial for efficacy before the end of the year, hopefully as well. We have other indications that we're looking at, which are related to the antibacterial properties of cannabinoids and pain. Those are obviously interesting for future development. I'm going to jump to our management team. We have a strong management team, including myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur, MD, PhD by training, over a dozen exit events, companies that I founded, organized, and brought to successful exits, either through M&A or sale to large, mostly medical device companies. Another gentleman with a great deal of experience in the company is dronabinol, who was head of CEO of Merck Pharmaceuticals and Lundbeck CNS company in Israel. So he's our chief strategy officer. We have other members of the team with experience in the public markets, including Dr. Elron Haber, the CEO, who unfortunately can't be on this call today, but we're very excited about our team and the buildup of the team. On our board, we have several individuals that are broad experience in the cannabinoid space as well, including Stephen Simons, who was the CEO of Unimed, which was the first company to develop a cannabinoid-based product and bring it all the way to FDA approval in the U.S., and he was the CEO of Unimed, which is now part of AbbVie, and he's recently joined our board. Another person I'd like to mention is Dr. Yafit Stark, who heads up all the clinical affairs at Teva, and was responsible for taking Cavaxan from bench to bedside at Teva Pharmaceuticals, and she's now part of our team. I'm going to slip to the next slide, cannabis and cannabinoid overview. We obviously know about the medicinal uses of cannabis and its derivatives. And as I mentioned, Professor Meshulam was the professor who discovered these major constituents of the plant, the THC and CBD, in the early 60s. We know that it has multiple indications. There are really multiple ways of developing this into a product. One is the botanical source, the plant source, and the other is the synthetic The advantage of a botanical source is that it's very simple to get a product for a food-based product, but when it becomes when you're trying to develop a drug, the drug path is much simpler when you use a controlled environment manufacturing. And so we're focused on biologic synthetic, which is much simpler to get approval in the U.S. and in Europe, for that matter. And we hope to get approval through fast track because of the approach that we're taking. We are using a FDA-approved compound, dronabinol, manufactured in the U.S. And our focus mostly is on the combination of dronabinol with another molecule, which is approved as well. I'm going to move on to the next slide. We have, as I mentioned before, we have two programs. One is a program for Tourette syndrome, and the other is a program for microdose of THC. The Tourette syndrome is both based on the discovery of Meshulam of what's called the entourage effect, whereby he showed that multiple molecules are necessary to get the maximum effect of the cannabis system or the cannabinoid system. We're taking two molecules, one molecule that was discovered in the plant, THC, and the other molecule is a molecule called PA, palmitic ethanolamide, discovered in the body and the endocannabinoid system, actually discovered at NIH in 1957. Both molecules have been in use for many years in humans, both in the U.S. and in Europe. And we're the first to combine these two molecules into a drug. And we started a clinical trial for Tourette syndrome in, as I said, December of last year. The other program we have is an ultra-low dose of THC, basically taking THC, which is the active ingredient or the psychoactive ingredient of the plant, reducing its dose to a dose that has no psychoactivity, so it's a very low dose, a microdose of THC. And what we've shown is that by using this very low dose, you can prevent organ damage. And our focus initially is on the brain, focused on age-related cognitive impairment. I'm going to skip to slide number 9. As I mentioned, the entourage effect was discovered by Professor Meshulam in 1998 when he was looking at the endocannabinoid system, the cannabis system of the body. And what he showed is that AEA, the equivalent of THC in the body, is enhanced by the effect of PA, palmitic ethanolamide. And actually, PA is secreted before AEA and enhances the effect of the AEA. We were the first to show that that's true also for THC and PA, and we have an IP position that we've developed around the combination of THC and PA, and that's our approach for the entourage effect, the combination. As I said, our first indication is Tourette's, but there are multiple indications for it. Let's go to slide number 10, looking at Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is a orphan disease based on the number of patients that have the problem. So it's a relatively small number of patients, especially in adults. Its prevalence reduces with age. So some patients that have Tourette syndrome, as years go by, as they mature, they are able to recover from it without having long-term effects. But unfortunately, in some patients, it becomes a chronic disease in adults, and in that case, it becomes a problem that has really no approved medication. To date, only 3 drugs have been approved by the FDA to treat Tourette's, but they have limited use due to severe side effects. One of the things that we know is that cannabis actually has been shown to reduce Tourette's syndrome, as well as THC. One of the clinicians that we're working with actually published a paper on this, and what we're doing is showing that by the combination of using THC plus PA, we can enhance the effect and get a much more pronounced effect with less side effects. As I said, this is an orphan drug designation, and that we're following, and the FDA has requested additional information that hopefully will be provided by the clinical study that we're conducting at Yale. Jump to the next slide. This drug program called THX TS01 is our major program right now. We have, as I said, shown historically that cannabis and THC may be effective, and we're excited about this program because the regulatory path is straightforward. We're taking a 505(b)(2) regulatory strategy based on the approved drug Marinol, and we're in a phase 2 proof of concept study, 2A study at Yale that started in late 2016. It's an 18-patient study. We hope to get that results in the near future. I'll go to the next slide, slide number 12. It shows you the development plan. As I said, it's an ongoing program. Sometime in Q3, we hope to complete the study, and in parallel, sometime in Q3, start phase 2B study in Hanover in Germany. Slide number 13, same program, combination of THC and PA is something that we're excited about. We have shown that this combination can be used to prevent antimicrobial resistance. It's a big problem with very limited therapies that are still left for the clinicians. So we've shown that our approach can take a bacteria that's resistant to antibiotics and convert it to so that the antibiotic can be effective. We've shown it in a preliminary study, and it's an ongoing program that we hope to further develop and could be a significant opportunity for the company as well. The pain study is another opportunity for us. Again, the same drug, the same combination, we believe can be used for pain. We know that cannabis can reduce the use of opiates. That's been shown in states that have used medical marijuana, that the use of cannabis reduces the use of opiates. It's a big problem that we're trying to solve, and we are excited to have signed a collaboration with Rafa Pharmaceuticals here in Israel to develop a drug for pain based on this combination. So that's something that's ongoing, and hopefully we'll develop, given this relationship, further in the future. Skip now to the other program we have, MCI, mild cognitive impairment or age-related cognitive impairment. Obviously, it's a very big problem. Anyone over 45 is worried about it. I know I am. Anyhow, 2015, there were estimated close to 47 million people with dementia worldwide, and that's expected to increase to 75 million by 2030. Very big economic impact and emotional impact to everyone associated people that have these problems. We believe that our approach can be a game changer. There's no FDA-approved treatment for therapy of MCI. We have animal data that is very encouraging, and hopefully we'll start our clinical study in the very near future. I'm going to skip to slide number 15. Probably people in the audience saying, well, cannabis actually has the negative effect on cognition, which is true. A full dose of cannabis has been shown to actually have detrimental effect on cognition in chronic users. And so what was an exciting finding for us was that paradoxically, a very low dose, a microdose, or an ultra low dose of THC has the exact opposite effect. If you can think of the idea of vaccines, it's a similar kind of concept where a full dose can create a disease and a microdose can do the opposite. So a professor at Tel Aviv University showed exactly that a very low dose of THC can prevent cognitive impairment. We're about to start a clinical study using this approach, first a safety study and then an efficacy study this year. The program requires a very unique dosage. If you give too little, it has no effect. If you give too much, it can actually have the opposite effect, as I mentioned. And so formulation is very important. And so we've developed a sublingual and a nasal approach of delivery, and we're testing both approaches. Both of them will probably have an interesting value on its own, not only for this indication, but for other indications. So the formulations are developed. The sublingual is ready to go into clinics. The nasal has some more work to do, but they're both in a stage that we feel very comfortable that can be scaled and commercialized. Slide number 16. We've shown that ultra low dose of cannabis, of THC, can prevent cognitive impairment. The regulatory path is just like the other program, a 505(b)(2) strategy. In this case, it's even a simpler path than the Tourette's because it's one drug, so it's not a combination, so there's even less concern about the interaction. It's a very low dose, so there's really no question at all about safety. Despite that, because it's a chronic use in healthy individuals, potentially, we decided to focus on a phase 1 study with healthy volunteers because we're using a much lower dose and in healthy individuals. So we're starting with a phase 1, but obviously there's no reason to believe that we'll have any problem. And we're going to look at bioavailability and pharmacokinetics, and based on that, go into a phase 2 study sometime early 2018. And what we're looking right now is a subset of MCI patients to treat, to basically focus on areas where we can show the biggest impact in a relatively short period of time. And one of the areas that we're looking at and feel very excited about is traumatic brain injury, which is a subset of patients that have MCI. If you look at the causal effect, it's related to TBI, traumatic brain injury. And so we feel that if we can show an impact in TBI, it has an impact both for TBI, which is a big issue on its own, and the bigger opportunity of MCI. Slide number 17. The preclinical studies are ongoing, and we are looking at other indications for the use of this technology. The phase 1 study will start sometime in the near future using the sublingual approach, and the proof of concept study will start, as I said, sometime late 2017 or early 2018. We're excited about that program, obviously, as well. Slide number 18. We have a very strong scientific advisory board led by Professor Rafi Meshulam, the kind of grandfather of the whole area of cannabinoids. He has been pioneering the field since the 60s. Besides Meshulam, we have other very strong individuals on the board, including several psychiatrists in the U.S. and in Germany and in Israel. And Professor Piomelli, who's the editor-in-chief of Cannabis and Cannabinoid Research and a professor of pharmacology at UC Irvine and a pioneer in the research of the use of PA, phenylketonulamine, made as a drug, initially in Italy and now in the U.S. So we have a strong team of individuals that are helping us build the scientific rationale behind our program. Slide number 19. Just to walk through the landscape. Obviously, there are a lot of companies in the cannabis space that are trying to get a approved drug to the market, but we see ourselves really focused on the FDA-regulated drugs as opposed to the plant-based programs that we're going to have challenges getting approval as a drug in the U.S. at least. And so our focus is on FDA-regulated drugs. And if you look at the drug programs, really we have several competitors that are larger than us, but not much further along than us in the development, including GW that has a market cap of 3.3 billion, Insys that has a market cap of about 750 million, and Zynerba that has a market cap of about 275 million. So we have a market cap of 25 million, and we think our peers are good comparables and believe that we have a unique opportunity to create a lot of value in the very near term, given where our clinical programs are and what the market perceives the value of these kinds of programs. So we are very similar to some of these companies with a much lower valuation, obviously. Slide number 20. To summarize, we're highly focused on the CNS indications with the unique technologies, both in combinations, formulations, and delivery methods. We have 2 indications with potential for a shorter regulatory path due to the orphan drug designation, which is a Tourette's syndrome and a 505(b)(2) pathway. Both programs, given the fact that we're not really developing a new drug, but rather a new use for an existing drug. The proof of concept study for Tourette's is ongoing, started in late 2016. We're about to start a phase 1 trial for age-related cognitive impairment in this quarter or early sometime next quarter, and we're focused on developing that into a larger program for MCI sometime in the 2018 timeframe. So we'll focus, as I said, initially on traumatic brain injury. And once we have some indications based on the proof of concept study, that indication will show a larger indication, which is MCI sometime after that. Additional indications that are being looked at are the antibacterial use of the cannabinoids in pain. We have a strong management team. We're excited about our board of directors and the scientific advisory board, and hope that you have some questions. So I'll hand it over now to the Q&A section. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this.
Okay, we're now opening the line for our Q&A session with Therapix Biosciences. Ticker symbol is TRPX on the NASDAQ. And with us for the Q&A session today, we have Chairman Dr. Asher Shmulewitz. Welcome, Dr. Shmulewitz.
Thank you. Nice to be on the call.
We're happy to have you here. A lot of great things going on for the company. Our first question that an investor has asked is, can you talk a little bit more about the status of your upcoming phase 1 trial in mild cognitive impairment?
Sure. So we're actually starting a phase 1 for the sublingual delivery of our drug. It should happen very shortly. We're waiting to get approval to start the study. It should happen in the next month or so, depending on getting approval. But we're ready to go. The formulation is completed. The drug has done. We've done all the preclinical work, and as soon as we get approval to start the study, we will start it.
Thank you. And our next question is regarding your phase 2 trial for Tourette syndrome. This investor was curious if you have an update as to the percentage of recruitment that you've completed for that trial.
We do not have an official update. We know that we're on target to complete the recruitment hopefully by the end of May, but we don't have an official number. As soon as we will have a better sense of when it will be completed, but it's on target to basically complete the enrollment. My sense is by sometime late May or early June.
Thank you. And I guess we've already covered a couple of these milestones in the last two questions. But the next investor would like to know if you can talk a little bit about what other milestones investors can expect over the remainder of 2017. And they also were curious if there's going to be a need for the company to raise additional capital beyond what was completed in the IPO here recently.
Sure. So we as you mentioned, we plan on starting the phase 1 and completing it before we start a phase 2 trial for the MCI and mild cognitive impairment. So both of them hopefully will happen this year. We'll start another phase 2 trial on Tourette's in Germany, Hanover, in the second part of this year. So most likely in the third quarter. Those are the major milestones. We have, as we've disclosed, entered in the agreements with companies related to development of the pain product. So we hope to start developing that product as well in 2017.
Thank you. And our next question, are there any additional indications that you're assessing for potential development?
So, yes, the answer is... by the way, I apologize I didn't answer. I think there was another question. It was about fundraising. Do we require additional funds? The answer, just to the previous question, is that we do not require. We've raised enough capital until late deep into 2018, and if we enter into strategic relationship, that the money raised can even extend beyond that. So there's no need to raise money for the development of these programs until late 2018. They asked for additional indications. The answer is yes. We are looking at additional indications, as I mentioned, for the program. We're looking at a subset of MCI focused on TBI, traumatic brain injury. That's something that we're looking at. We're also looking at, as I said, pain and the use of our drug for a way to enhance the treatment of antibiotics and taking bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics and allow conventional antibiotics to work on them. So those are programs that are early in the development, but are very exciting.
Thank you. And For our last question, you covered a lot of great information here in the Q&A as well as in the presentation. But I guess what's the key takeaway for investors that are just hearing the story for the first time? What should be the main thing that they take away about the Therapix Bioscience opportunity?
I think the key takeaway is that we're really developing a drug that could be used both for people that are currently using marijuana, medical marijuana, and those that are not using it because it didn't go through a rigorous development as a drug and clinical trials. So the unique thing about us is that we, I think, address a very large market of people that have been exposed to the benefits of the drug, but really would like to use a drug that has been given by their physician and has gone through a rigorous clinical program. And so I think that's what's unique about us. And we're not developing new molecules. So we know the molecules that we're using work for different indications, and we have developed a better formulation technology. And based on our entourage concept, we're getting increased benefits without the side effects that we could see with some of the previous technologies that were out there.
Very exciting. Thank you very much. And for our viewers, we were just talking with the chairman of Therapix Biosciences. The ticker symbol, again, is TRPX on the NASDAQ. You can find out more about Therapix right here at RedChip.com, and you can also sign up for news alerts about the company to stay abreast of the developments as they happen.